Do you guys remember when there were allegations going around that Kim Porter had video footage of Diddy and Usher? Then there were reports that Usher was in the hospital courtesy of Diddy. Well, as it turns out, the feds may have found something with regards to this, and this might be one of the things they have on Diddy.
Stevie J, the Usher part, that's a touchy situation, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a certain feeling, and I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business. I know, and people know, that was around in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital.
Well, I'm sure you guys know that there are allegations that have been around for a while, saying that Diddy gave Usher an STD. In fact, that is allegedly one of the things that was supposed to come up in the book that Kim Porter was writing, which disappeared just before she died. Allegedly, the book covered in detail how Diddy was into BBCs and slept with different men on multiple occasions, and how Usher's mom confronted Diddy about allegedly being intimate with Usher and giving him an STD after she found out what was going on. Allegedly, while Kim was going through security footage from Uptown Records because she had a feeling Diddy was playing her, she allegedly came across footage of Diddy and Andre Harrell doing you know what. Obviously, Kim did not expect to find footage of Diddy and Andre when she was going through the recordings, but she did, and she kept the footage. Allegedly, based on reports, Kim didn't just get her hands on footage of Diddy and Andre, she also had video footage of Diddy allegedly taking advantage of Usher, but that also disappeared because just before she died, someone broke into her house, and only her laptops were stolen. Interesting, right? Still on this STD, there was a time a woman named Quantasia Sharpton, along with a Jane Doe and John Doe, sued Usher, claiming they all had relations with Usher, and they all said he risked their health by not telling them about his alleged herpes diagnosis and were seeking unspecified damages. The woman, who did not identify herself, said that she slept with Usher at least twice, and after contracting herpes from him, her twins were stillborn. Now, allegedly, this is the same STD that Usher had gotten from Diddy. You know, we have been speaking on this Usher and Diddy situation for years now, but maybe this time somebody will actually listen. So how about we start from the beginning?
I moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn some...
Flavor Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I
Come
mean,
on.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle,
Right.
And I saw it, and it was. But I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
When Usher was first signed to LaFace Records as a young teen, he was sent to Diddy to be mentored, and at 14 years old, Usher moved to New York to stay with Diddy. Usher himself said that the things he witnessed when he was staying with Diddy at what Diddy called the Flavor Camp were things a boy his age should never have experienced. At the time when he was moving in, Usher's mom admitted that she didn't know much about Diddy when Usher was first signed to LaFace Records, but she sent him to Diddy as a mentor, and Usher moved to New York to stay with him. What Usher's mom said was that when Usher hit puberty, he basically lost his voice, and record labels no longer wanted anything to do with him. Diddy, who was with them when the record label wanted to drop him, said he would take him, and that Usher's mom just had to trust him. She thought that she was handing Usher to someone responsible, but according to Usher, the things he witnessed were so wild that as a dad, he would never let his son attend Diddy's Flavor Camp ever.
And your parents were
Mary J.
okay?
Blige, they didn't know nothing about this.
Oh.
I was having a good time, you know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem.
Yeah.
I had like, you know,
What
like
a
a living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
See?
Usher was also asked about his experience at Puffy's Flavor Camp during an interview with Essence magazine, and he suggested once again that something did happen to him. First of all, he was very cool when asked about other things, like how he would continue to pursue movie projects and, somewhere down the road, a new album and several business ventures. But according to the publication, when the talk turned to his time living with Diddy, Usher became surprisingly restrained, and he said, "I want to save some of this for my book. One day, I'll put it this way, there was a lot of sex. I mean, we are still waiting on this book. And since it's taking this long, whatever is in there must be pretty juicy." Regardless, based on the interactions we've seen online of Diddy and Usher, we know exactly what Usher was talking about, like that one time he was telling Kevin Hart about waking up next to Usher. Honey, that was wild, and just watch Usher's face when Diddy is talking.
Usher look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. Usher fresh off the guard stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like that's how. I mean, back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. What the
There was also this other time when Diddy was complimenting Usher, and it really looked like he was checking him out and talking about Usher eating his cereal in his kitchen.
I was so mesmerized, I don't even know what you're talking about. I was just so blown away by the stamina, the connection, being able to be connected, that on so much. You have like so much, motherfuckers ain't doing all this shit, all those dance numbers and all that. Take your time with it, breathe it in. Yeah, they yours when you go see this for you. This ain't for nobody else but you. You take your time, boy. I see you. Fly out, doing Vegas. You were in the kitchen, eating all my cereal. Man, you doing Vegas in a pink suit. God is the greatest. Won't he do it?
In addition, Usher is also one of the people who was mentioned in the lawsuit that Lil Rod filed against Diddy. Well, he wasn't actually mentioned by name, but the lawsuit talks about how Diddy specifically mentored Cuba Gooding Jr. and showed him his ways, with the goal of passing him off to others. Lil Rod actually said that he was introduced to Cuba while on a yacht in January 2023, who proceeded to force himself on him until being forcibly pushed away. He also said that Diddy used his admiration of Stevie J to ease the fact that he's always been on the DL. He even said that, at one point, Diddy played him footage purported to show Stevie J hooking up with a white man. Lil Rod then alleged that Diddy told him he had slept with 2 other celebrities, and even though their names had been redacted, one of them was described in the footnote as a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj, while the other is said to have performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency. Based on that, followers concluded that one of the artists was Usher, and the other one was Meek Mill. Speaking of lawsuits, Dawn Richards' bombshell lawsuit against Diddy also mentions Usher, as she claims Usher, Ne-Yo, and Jimmy Iovine witnessed him allegedly punch Cassie. In her lawsuit, it says in the weeks and months leading up to the Bad Boy Interscope deal, Mr. Combs had frequent meetings with producer and then CEO of Interscope Records, Jimmy Iovine. On one such occasion, Combs hosted a dinner at a West Hollywood, California restaurant, which MS, Richard and MS Harper were required to attend. Among the guests at the dinner were celebrities like Ne-Yo and Usher, as well as Mr. Iovine. At the dinner, Mr. Combs and MS Ventura had an argument in front of the dinner guests. Mr. Combs hissed at MS Ventura in a screaming whisper and forcefully punched her in the stomach, causing her to double over in visible pain, crying. MS Clark escorted MS Ventura out of the restaurant, and Mr. Combs remained and continued socializing with the dinner guests. So Usher didn't just go through it with Diddy, he also witnessed Diddy being vile with other people. Well, now word on the street is that the feds are also looking keenly into this Usher situation. Allegedly, they even have Usher's mom involved, with sources reporting that his mom also wants to set the record straight about a few things that happened with Diddy, one of them allegedly being that Diddy is actually responsible for Usher ending up in the hospital. Well, this issue about Usher going to the hospital because of Diddy is something that Gene Deal has also been open about.
Now I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that you gonna give him a pass? Bruh, you know
Allegedly, because of the things Diddy had Usher doing, he turned Usher. And that's why we also hear all sorts of stories about him. For instance, there were reports some time back that claimed that Usher found the time to have a good time in a gay club after some Broadway shows. According to someone who went to the club, everyone was in Usher's dressing room drinking champagne when someone came up with the idea that they should go to a club. That's when this claimed the group went to a popular gay nightclub, saying, "We weren't looking for a gay club, it just happened." I mean, most of us were gay, so we just went to a place we knew. Apparently, allegedly, that's when the night began to heat up. As the source said, there were half-naked men everywhere, and Usher didn't seem to mind. Then, according to the source, Usher struck up a conversation with an older gentleman, and he even explained the situation, saying, Usher was talking up all in this guy's face. I thought the two of them were going to start kissing. At first, I couldn't believe my eyes, but then I thought, this is Chelsea, so anything goes. The source also said, about 20 minutes after we got there, a crowd started to form around Usher, and we decided that it was time to leave. We had a lot of fun, though then, when asked if Usher had a good time too, the source said, I know he did. It has also been said that, allegedly, because of the things Diddy did to Usher, he also kind of did the same things to Justin Bieber when he started mentoring him. Maybe this is why Usher is not saying much, because he knows that if things come out about him and Diddy, they may also implicate him as well. I mean, when he was being sued for giving people an STD, these lawsuits were swept under the rug, and there were even reports that Usher paid $1 million for them to go away. So if we are being honest, Usher is not completely innocent in all of this. Also, if the feds are seriously looking into this matter, I don't think this is the last time we will be talking about it. Do you think the feds will have Usher testify against Diddy? Let me know your thoughts on this situation.